This program was made possible in part by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Respect the miraculous self-healing properties of a properly fed human. You simply do not have to be sick if you don't want to.
Dr. Joel Fuhrman is a board-certified physician whose pioneering work in nutrition has been acclaimed as a medical breakthrough for weight loss, disease reversal, and prevention.
When we dial up the nutritional quality of your diet, we dial up your health span and your lifespan.
He's a New York Times best-selling author and a widely published nutritional researcher.
I'm offering you the most effective diet in the world, and I'm going to prove that today on this show.
Your health destiny is in your hands. Please join us for Dr. Fuhrman's Food as Medicine.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. Welcome, and thank you so much. And welcome to Food as Medicine, where you can learn how to heal the body with food and even recover from life-threatening illnesses using food as medicine. If there was a way to eat that would wipe out more than 90% of all heart attacks and strokes and cancers in the modern world, shouldn't we all study that and eat that way? What if that same eating style could offer the most sustained and massive weight loss possible, and in a manner, after people lost their extra 50 to 100 pounds, they actually preferred eating this way and liked it better than their previous diet, so they never would gain the weight back again. What if this way of eating that you can learn to love with phenomenal recipes could make almost all the type 2 diabetics non-diabetic? Now, I'm not saying control your diabetes better with drugs, food, or exercise. Rather, I'm saying get rid of it altogether and be non-diabetic so you no longer have to inject yourself or take drugs or incur the risks of blindness, leg amputation, kidney failure, or premature death. What if this way of eating could normalize your blood pressure without drugs if you have high blood pressure, and reverse your heart disease, increasing blood flow to the heart, and take away your chest pains and need for invasive procedures and surgeries? What if this way of eating could even reverse autoimmune illnesses too, and get rid of psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, for example? I know this sounds impossible for one gold standard, one pinnacle of dietary excellence to do all those things. This must be false claims, because food can't do all that, right? We're going to take a look at these questions and see what a nutritarian diet can do and has done with real people. And these people, embracing this life-changing approach, have one thing in common. They lost their desire to eat junk food and to overeat. And they didn't just lose weight, they were able to discontinue their dangerous, even cancer-causing drugs and earn back excellent health. Look, are we being invaded by superpowered aliens from another planet attacking and destroying our population? Or are we being invaded by chemicalized and processed foods, commercial baked goods, sweeteners, oils, and processed meats? Fake foods cause cancer, dementia, and death, and these dangerous foods are very hard to resist. And make no doubt about it, they are manufactured with the scientific technology to induce overeating and to make their consumption hard to resist. At the same time, these universal dangers are amongst us. Modern nutritional science has made the advances giving us the answers to most wipe out these diseases and save millions of lives. I always say, we've landed the man on the moon already. And what I mean by that is we already know how to win the war on cancer. We have the answer, and the answer is vegetables. You know, but people don't like that answer. They want a different answer. They want some magic pill they can take so they can smoke 3 packs a day and not get lung cancer. But life is not a fairy tale, and health outcomes are not the result of magic. In the real world, we have to earn excellent health. We actually have to eat healthfully. And you can do it. This program is easy to do and will enable you to lose your attraction to eat poorly, and it's delicious. With my recipes, you're going to love eating this way. When you flood your body with anti-cancer phytonutrients found in certain colorful plant foods, you can lose your addictive drive to eat poorly and overeat. The secret here is eating more healthy food to meet your body's need for micronutrients. Micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals, they don't contain calories. For example, each piece of broccoli contains hundreds of beneficial compounds. Some even haven't been named yet, but they work together to fuel our immune system and give it the ability to recognize abnormal cells and remove them before they can turn into cancer. With the right foods, our body becomes nearly disease-proof. A nutritarian diet is based on the principle that if you eat more nutrients per calorie from your food choices, you improve your health, and this can be represented by my health equation, H equals N over C. Your healthy life expectancy can be predicted by the nutrient per calorie density of your diet. This means the more nutritional bang per caloric buck you eat, the slower you age, the better you live, and the longer you live. High intake of antioxidants, fiber, phytonutrients reduces the amount of calories you desire. The question is, can you actually learn to prefer how to eat healthfully? And can it be made so you can really and truly enjoy eating immensely? Let me tell you about Martin. Martin, who's such a warm and wonderful man with a heart of gold, who loves to help other people. Martin suffered for so many years with a bad heart condition. When Martin Becker was 66 years old, he weighed 266 pounds with a 51-inch waist and suffered from an enlarged heart, atrial fibrillation, high blood pressure, swollen legs, which reflects a degree of heart failure, and a host of other maladies. He was taking 11 different medications. And then things even got worse, and he suddenly found he needed emergency heart surgery. Whoa, that was the last straw. During his recovery and cardiac rehabilitation, he totally committed himself to the nutritarian lifestyle. You know what happened? Now Martin is 70 years old. 4 years have passed. He doesn't take any medications at all. He has a normal heart rhythm, normal blood pressure, no swollen legs, no back pain, and lots of energy. Amazing, right? He lost 120 pounds and now weighs 146 with a 33-inch waist. That's right, from 266 to 146. And regaining his health inspired him to begin a new career as a certified health and wellness coach. Amazing, huh? Martin totally transformed his life from a very sick man to an example of what food can do to transform your life. It's not too late for you to transform your life. It takes some effort at the beginning, and of course, you have to take the first step to change. It could be overwhelming, that step. But the effort will be returned to you 100-fold, and it gets easier and easier once you start. And what I'm saying is, there's no reason to remain sickly and overweight and depressed about this. You can take charge of your health and build a wonderful life for yourself. You can be that superhero too. Let me show you another success story. Because like so many people, Sandra struggled with weight for so much of her life, and she tried everything, every diet under the sun. And she'd lose weight for a little while, and then bang, it would all come back and more. Sandra was also an admitted food addict, you know? She's a high school teacher who was morbidly obese throughout most of her life, and she suffered from migraines, heart palpitations, extreme sweating, exhaustion, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. At her heaviest, she weighed 252 pounds. But what spurred her to take action was the onset of ravenous thirst, which she knew was the danger sign for diabetes. She researched diabetic diet online and found my books. After 3 years of following the nutritarian diet, she feels better and more energetic than ever. Sandra lost 125 pounds, more than half of her body weight. She now weighs 115 pounds. She no longer suffered from migraines, bloating, stiffness in her joints, her blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar are now textbook normal, perfect. No more diabetes, no more medical problems. She's now vibrant, sleeping well, and she's transformed by the power of healthy food. Look, every person is different, and the results these people earned may not happen the same way for you. But one thing we know for sure is that you simply do not have to be sick and tired anymore, and you can lose the excess weight and keep it off forever. And you know, as you can see, the common theme here is these people did not just lose weight. They put their life back on track with optimism, excitement, happiness, enthusiasm. You can't be happy when you're malnourished because nutrients affect the brain, and the lack of nutrients create brain fog, decreased concentration, and depression. Studies show that eating poorly increases one's risk of depression. This large study showed a 51% increased risk of depression in those eating 2 or more servings of commercial baked goods or fast food a week. And all those people that are eating even more fast food and white flour products that are not depressed, they're not emotionally well. Food affects everyone's brain. Good food makes us think better, smarter, makes us happier, and empty calorie foods without nutrients ages us prematurely and damages our brain. The majority of people in our population are so dysthymic because they eat all those empty calorie, low nutrient foods. Dysthymia means you're not happy or excited about life. Dysthymia means you may not be severely depressed, but you have lost your zest and enjoyment of living, and you are not optimistic about your future. How about we turn this around for you starting today? This program is based on eating more nutrient-rich foods. It's not based on deprivation or starving yourself. Rather, when we supply our brain with favorable amounts of micronutrients and phytonutrients, you simply desire less food, or the right amount. You lose your food addictions, and you regain the ability to actually taste food better and enjoy eating more, not less. And you can lift your mood so you can really enjoy your life, because you can be healthy enough to do all the things you want to do in your life and keep doing them. When you flood your body with foods rich in antioxidants and phytochemicals, you enable the body to reduce and remove free radicals and other waste products that create inflammation, age us prematurely, and create disease. It's so critical because the same toxic compounds that make you sick and feel fatigued and depressed also makes you desire more calories. They make you into a calorie-consuming monster without a turn-off switch. When your micronutrient needs are not met, it creates what I call toxic hunger, which is actually withdrawal from the buildup of metabolic wastes that accumulate when your diet is too low in antioxidants and other micronutrients. These withdrawal symptoms occur the minute digestion is completed and your body's in a heightened mode of detoxification and self-repair that occurs after digestion is finished. Often this fake hunger manifests as fatigue and inability to concentrate, or a mild agitation or headache relieved by eating. It makes people need to keep their digestive tract busy all the time and overconsume calories every single day. You see, the secret to permanent weight loss and transforming your life completely is learning how to make foods that are richest in lifespan-enhancing nutrients taste good and to eat them daily. And there are 6 foods I want you to commit to memory so you can incorporate them in your diet every day. It is these 6 foods that medical science has shown that can most effectively prevent cancer and heart disease. And my acronym, GBOMBS, GBOMBS, makes this easy to remember. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. You know, I can throw a dart at any of those foods in that group and describe the science that demonstrates impressive anti-cancer effects and reduction of cancer deaths. But the details we're going to get to later. But what you have to remember now is that G-bombs also help you destroy that calorie-consuming monster. They also facilitate the body's ability to remove the dangerous disease-causing fat on your body. Applying nutritional excellence unleashes the miraculous healing mechanisms that were sleeping within our cells, that when turned on, enables our own body to reverse chronic disease. A self-healing potential that's rarely considered by health authorities or the medical profession. All right, when we come back, we're going to meet some people who had very serious illnesses that they no longer have, and you will see the miraculous healing power of a properly nourished body. So please, stay tuned. Stay right here.
We're back with Dr. Fuhrman's Food as Medicine.
Let me ask you, how many of you have someone in your family that has heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, or who's had a heart attack, a stroke, or a cancer diagnosis? Raise your hand. Wow. Looks like almost all of you, right? Yikes. Imagine if you lived in such a neighborhood where everyone in the family has already been shot by a bullet or stabbed by a knife. Wouldn't you do anything to get out of that neighborhood? Wow. Instead, our neighborhoods are being devastated by serious health issues, suffering, and death. And all this suffering is from the powerful addictive properties of unhealthy foods. Amazing, right? Are you going to continue living like that, or do you want help to get out? That's right, I'm saying that food addiction is real, and it kills more people than drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and nicotine addiction. Without the skills and knowledge to free yourself from the shackles of your food addictions and food preferences for unhealthy food, you have no chance for a healthy and happy life. The standard American diet leads to disease because people live mostly on animal products, processed foods, and oils. Animal products, processed foods, and oils have three things in common, and that is, 1, no fiber, and fiber turns down appetite. 2, no antioxidants and phytochemicals. That's right, no cancer-fighting ingredients. Number 3, they have high caloric concentration, meaning it's easy to pack on the pounds when you eat them. Americans eat only 2% of their diet from vegetables. 2%! Wow, can you imagine that? The strongest anti-cancer foods on the planet, and the Americans don't even eat hardly any of them. A nutritarian diet uses fruits and vegetables, beans, nuts and seeds, and intact whole grains for more than 90% of the calories you're consuming each day. When we dial up the nutritional quality of your diet, we dial up your health span and your lifespan. The only proven methodology to slow aging, and write this down, is moderate caloric restriction in the context of micronutrient excellence. That's it. And the more micronutrient-rich your diet is, the less calories you instinctually desire. I developed a nutritarian diet after decades in the clinical practice of nutritional medicine and a lifetime dedicated to the study and interest in human nutrition. My life's work and expertise includes a comprehensive and in-depth review of over 20,000 scientific studies on human nutrition over the last 30 years. Translating this science into practical and tasty recommendations and testing the results. And I can say with certainty that I've seen the effects of this plan in action on thousands of people with a wide range of diseases and health concerns, from migraines and allergies to heart disease and diabetes. And the bottom line is, it works. Modern nutritional science is the foundation of this program. It's the most powerful intervention to not only prevent disease, but also reverse it. Modern nutritional science makes complete recovery from most chronic degenerative illnesses possible. Now, before I introduce more success stories, I want to make clear that I'm not saying that a nutritional intervention can reverse most advanced cancers, but I am saying that the scientific studies have shown that the same nutritional interventions that can prevent cancer such as eating mushrooms, flax seeds, and green vegetables, have been shown to prevent cancer recurrences and reduce cancer deaths in those who already have cancer. It's been well established in the scientific literature that nutritional excellence extends life for those who have cancer. For example, look at this 10-year study in women who all had breast cancer. The researchers tracked how many milligrams of lignans they ate. By the way, flax seeds, chia seeds, and sesame seeds have lots of lignans in them. Lignans are impressive cancer-fighting phytonutrients that are high in seeds. But the results were amazing. In the highest fifth of lignan consumption, the risk of death from breast cancer decreased 71%. Here's another important study on women with breast cancer. They found that those with the highest consumption of green vegetable intake reduced their total mortality, that means death, total breast cancer death, and total mortality by 62%. And the response was dose-dependent, meaning the more vegetables eaten, the more protection they got. And fruits and vegetables offered more cancer protection than just vegetables alone, by the way. The most protection against cancer occurs when you put together a full dietary portfolio that includes all the G-bombs, right? All the greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. Then the magic happens. So let's look at what happens in the real world when you take modern nutritional science and apply it to real people living with medical problems. These are people just like you who finally said to themselves, enough is enough. I want a different health outcome. For example, Janet, she had multiple sclerosis, MS, and had to take oral steroids and other drugs for many years. Though she became a vegetarian at the age of 18, she was very overweight and had high cholesterol and high blood pressure and felt really debilitated because of the shots, steroids, and other medications she had to take for her MS. You know, multiple sclerosis or MS is a very serious issue. It starts as fatigue and muscle weakness, visual and speech problems, and it can go on to paralysis. It is frightening to think about it, and Janet was frightened. Janet was a middle school art teacher that had to quit work at age 31 due to her multiple sclerosis. And then she had to go on drugs which caused her to gain more weight and caused skin rashes and other side effects that she said almost killed her. She felt compelled to take all these medications because she had to raise her young children, and she feared she wouldn't be able to do it, that she'd be bedridden if she didn't. When she saw my show on her local PBS station, she became inspired to adopt a nutritarian diet. She ate G-bombs every day. She made salads her main dish. In 13 months, she lost over 100 pounds and has stopped taking all medication, including the steroids. She no longer suffers from migraines. Her blood pressure is normal, and her MS has disappeared. She hasn't felt this spectacular in over 20 years. Janet didn't find doing this difficult, but when she ate the standard American diet, then she found life was too difficult to manage. When you're feeling ill and you have pain all the time and you're hopeless about your future and your life, that's difficult. Eating right has saved Janet's life. We're so proud of your accomplishments, Janet. And please give her a round of applause, too. Look, you don't have to be that sick to decide to adhere to a superior diet and achieve superior health. Why not just live without fear and be excited about it? All of you can accomplish so many great things in your life. Why don't we just do this together and support each other and have a good life? And of course, you have to make medical decisions with the guidance of your physician, with the awareness that these remarkable recoveries do not guarantee the same thing will happen to you. Chris's story, though, makes a similar point. Chris Miller was a practicing emergency room physician when inflammation took over her body. She had joint swelling, pain in her hands, strange rashes, chest pains, even kidney involvement. She was diagnosed with lupus and placed on heavy-duty immunosuppressive medications, including high-dose prednisone. Eventually, she was taking 6 medications, but her pain and fatigue continued to increase, and she got sicker and sicker. Her doctor wanted her to try experimental drugs. She gained weight from the prednisone. She had no energy. She was losing her hair. she felt sad and scared. She had to quit her job as a doctor because her immune system was so compromised, it made it unsafe for her to be around other sick people. Terrible, right? She was searching for treatment options, and she found out about my nutritional approach for lupus and other autoimmune diseases. So she flew from Aspen to attend one of my retreats. When she learned the science of anti-inflammatory foods and the role of nutrient-dense foods to heal the body, and the scientific evidence and studies to support it, she was stunned, just stunned. She was stunned that she never even heard about this. She didn't learn this in medical school, didn't learn it in medical training. Chris and her husband got rid of all the processed foods, all the animal products, all the oils, everything out of their kitchen. They dumped it. She learned to love eating vegetable juices, bean soups, and salads. It took some time for her to actually, have less joint pain and for other symptoms to go away. Over a few years, she's been able to slowly taper all her medications for lupus, and her kidney function has returned to normal, and she got well. Her hair has come back. She no longer has rashes. Her energy is through the roof. She just ran her first half marathon, a half marathon, first time in 8 years. Right? She's been able to work again, and she now teaches her patients about the importance of eating a nutrient-dense food and a nutritarian diet. Let's give Chris a round of applause. We need to celebrate the recovery of this people. This is just amazing. But there are thousands of people all over the country suffering with lupus and other autoimmune diseases. And in most cases, they're never even informed that diet can make a difference in their lives. They're never informed that diet can change their disease outcome, right? They don't have any idea. And that's the recurrent theme of this program. Without proper informed consent regarding the remarkable healing powers of nutritional medicine, people are simply not given sufficient information to make the right decisions about their health, right? There's something wrong with putting people on dangerous immunosuppressive drugs that can increase one's risk of cancer without telling them that there's significant evidence of autoimmune diseases improving and even completely resolving with dietary excellence. And we have scientific studies to substantiate that these cases are not just a fluke. Clearly, what happened to all these people is that changing their diet has given them back their health, but it also gave them back their enthusiasm and enjoyment for life. I don't know about you guys, but you can almost cry when you think about the people whose lives have been transformed. And you know what? None of them will ever go back to eating the standard American diet that begets so much needless human tragedy. And then I think about all those millions out there who are still suffering that maybe could have gotten well if they had some help making that transition to nutritional excellence. This is a nutrient-rich way of eating. It's not a diet. It puts an end to dieting forever. It's just simple science. And you know what? It's not only science, because we have to consider that we make judgments based on emotions and feelings. It's not just science and logic. The smoker, they know they should quit smoking. They know it's bad for them, but they don't in some cases, right? Because the primitive part of the brain is saying to them that change is just too stressful. It's just too difficult. Yes, it's stressful and anxiety-provoking. Making a change for the better in your life is tough. But you know what? Your life is so much more stressful and difficult to deal with, and you can't really solve your problems in your life when you don't have your health. And you can't think straight. To get rid of food addictions and take back control of your life, it takes a little bit time of feeling worse. But then the increased fatigue and cravings melt away. It's worth it because you have your whole life after that that's going to get better. And the food will taste better too. I know some of you may be listening out there and you're thinking, you know what? That sounds great. It's really exciting, but it's not for me. I'm too far gone. I don't like vegetables. I'm too old. I can't digest so much fiber. I have to eat out in restaurants for my job. My family won't let me eat this way. A food addict will always come up with excuses why they can't change. Whatever irrational excuse you have, I want you to know that it's your food addiction talking. It takes over part of your brain. There's no obstacles that can't be easily solved, and your fears will rapidly disappear when you just do this. You know, all addicts have excuses, and you know what excuses are? They're like armpits. We all have them, and they stink. This is all about trying to eat more superfoods. Instead of dieting, it's not dieting, we're trying to eat larger amounts of these high nutrient superfoods that we make taste delicious. You're not going to be hungry, and I've created incredible recipes with a team that includes some of the best world-class chefs contributing because they want to help out, because they're excited about this too, just like you are. The most important thing is that you can lose radical amounts of weight without dieting and never gain it back. You can enjoy life more without fear of having a heart attack or a stroke, right? While you enjoy great fitness and maintain your youthful vigor into your golden years. This is not a fad or a weight loss scheme. Eating healthfully was never going to go away. This is not about extreme exercise, extreme dieting that can't be maintained. This is something that once you learn about it, you keep it with you forever. It stays in your mind forever. It's a knowledge-based program. You become the expert, and the knowledge sets you free from having chronic disease. It sets you free from dependency on doctors and drugs and invasive surgeries. It can put you back in control of your health destiny. This is for you guys. Everybody in America needs to know about this. When we come back, we're going to take this to the next level, and we're going to show you how to make this way of eating easy, delicious, and incredibly healthy. So stay right there. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Dr. Fuhrman's Food as Medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Fuhrman. And you know what? You know what lots of people say when they hear about this program to wipe out serious diseases by eating more vegetables? They say, you might as well just shoot me right now if I have to eat that way, because I'd rather die than eat that way. I'd rather be dead, right? It's amazing that people are so misinformed and confused. They think that their taste and food preferences are fixed, like the color of their eyes. Actually, your taste is like the color of your shirt. You can change it if it doesn't fit and if you don't like it. But I want to show you that your taste preferences can change, and you can learn to love healthy food, and that we can make a healthful diet taste as good or better than the one you're eating now, the diet that's killing you. I actually proved this in a scientific study I published in 2010 when we asked over 700 people how their hunger changed and how their food preferences differed after they changed this way of eating. Interestingly, we found it took time, but after 6 months, most preferred an entirely different portfolio of food based on what they were fed, and they liked eating this way as much or better than their old diet. It's proven. Other studies have also documented that the more you eat a food, the more you like it, and also that sugar and salt weaken the taste buds to make natural foods taste flat. Not only that, but salt, sugar, and oil also turns up your appetite and drives you to overeat. Using nuts as seeds as the source of healthy fats in your diet instead of oil is one of the big secrets here for disease protection and life extension. Instead of sugar and oil, we use fruit and nuts for great taste. For example, my favorite ice cream, which I call nice cream, has 3 simple ingredients: just frozen banana, real vanilla bean powder, and a little handful of macadamia nuts or walnuts. What could taste better than that? It's not sickeningly sweet, but everybody loves it. I use nuts and seeds in my salad dressings and sauces too, instead of oil. And you know what my favorite sauce for vegetables is? My Thai curry sauce that I just make with a few simple ingredients that I blend together. Lemongrass stick soaked in water and blended with some coconut flakes, some hemp seeds, a bit of peanut butter, a few dates, and some cumin, turmeric, and roasted garlic. It's fantastic. You know, I mix that over some wok vegetables, and wow, great flavor. My go-to simple salad dressing is easy too. It's called my Russian fig, use it all the time. It's just some tomato sauce that I mix with some fig vinegar or balsamic vinegar and mash with a fork, some roasted garlic, a little almond butter. When you use nuts and seeds instead of oil, you reduce your appetite, you lower your weight, your cholesterol, your blood pressure in the process. More nuts and less oil in the diet has also been shown in many scientific studies to reduce heart attack deaths by about 40%. 40%. You know, it's magical. Can you imagine if there was a drug that can reduce death by 40%? No such thing exists, but if there was, how much would that drug cost, right? Let me tell you now about a few people who've changed their lives, who are living examples of how regaining your health has led to more enjoyment of food, more enjoyment of life, not less. So let's do another success story. The one I want you to hear about is about Jason and Sarah. Jason is a truck driver whose road to wellness took some surprising turns, and a severe injury sparked his desire to learn something about nutrition and health. He weighed 342 pounds when he suffered 2 compression fractures of his back in a fall from the back of his trailer, and would then spend 4 months in recovery, unable to work. Jason's doctor told him that being overweight had contributed to the severity of his fractures, and he should eat more fruits and vegetables. You know, at the time, Jason's diet consisted of mostly of cake, ice cream, pizza, chicken wings, and hamburgers. And he saw no reason to change that, you know. He told me for sure he hated vegetables when he started this, and he thought that greens tasted disgusting. But if he can do it, anyone can. He found that the first step is the hardest one. You just start, and then every day you see the results, you grow healthier, and he says he found that more and more he liked the food better and better, and his taste buds changed. It was great. He lost 160 pounds. But here's the astonishing thing. He said that he now loves eating this way. That's the really thing. He weighs 180 pounds, down from 342, and he's read all my books and tapes, and he found the knowledge has given him tremendous inspiration and confidence. And then his wife, Sarah, she had her own problems. She also weighed over 300 pounds and suffered with depression and even fell asleep once while driving a car taking antidepressants. Then she developed multiple sclerosis, MS, diagnosed in 2011. She tried portion control dieting and eating somewhat healthier, and she did lose about 50 pounds. And then she went on her first date with Jason, and in 2014, and she told him that she had multiple sclerosis. And instead of him being scared to date anyone who was overweight and sick, he researched the effects of diet on MS, and he shared my dietary recommendations with Sarah. Now Sarah lost 100 pounds, is off all medications. She's off all medication, feeling well, you know, and she doesn't have MS. She married Jason. You know, she feels her husband and the nutritarian diet saved her life. What we can learn for that is maybe if you can eat healthy enough, you too can find someone and fall in love. I never knew that this show could compete with Bachelor in Paradise. Look, getting in great health can help your love life. You'll look better, you'll feel better, and you'll feel better about yourself, And everything about those dating and romance interactions will go smoother. You know, if you know what I mean. But look, I think the other important message here is also that even as when you've struggled greatly in life, even when you think you could never change, you can never change your diet, you cannot even enjoy eating fruits and vegetables, you really can, right? These people did not have nerves of steel and abnormal willpower. They just did this in spite of their fears and trepidations about giving up their illicit love affair with dangerous food, right? These foods do not love you. They're just using you for your body. You know, laughing makes you live longer, even if the joke is stupid. But these are just normal people, just like you. And they did this in spite of having some fear of losing the foods they thought they preferred and they thought they could not live without. And the fears melted away. And they found their taste preferences changed and new foods became their favorites. They found that nothing feels as good as excellent health. There are so many millions of overweight type 2 diabetics taking medications and injecting themselves with insulin and other drugs that cause weight gain and can actually make their future more tragic. They don't know what to do. The high glucose is dangerous, and the medications that lower their blood sugar, they're dangerous too because they cause weight gain and it makes them more diabetic. Food has to be your medicine. My diabetic reversal menus work quickly with most people and enable them to lower their medications even in the first week. Most physicians are surprised how quickly this program works to lower blood pressure and lower blood sugar. You know, it's important to work with your physician to lower medications, especially in the first few months of this program, because if your medications are not appropriately reduced and then gradually stopped, your blood pressure and your blood sugar can get dangerously low. So don't underestimate the power of this program if you're on medications, as you need to be monitored by a doctor so your medications can be adjusted. Remember, more drugs means more death. Less drugs means a longer life. In fact, the ACCORD study had to be stopped by the National Institute of Health because in the diabetics in the intervention group that were given more medical care and more attention to control their blood sugar better with drugs, they were found to be dying younger. Drugs are not the answer if you have type 2 diabetes. This is a diet-related disease, not a drug deficiency. Look, you don't have to be sick to change the way you eat. Some of these people here were very sick and faced with life-threatening medical conditions. Do you think you should wait until faced with death to improve your diet? Remember, 40% of those who have their first heart attack die on the spot and do not make it to the hospital alive. For them, the first symptom they had that demonstrated they had a heart problem was a heart attack that caused their death. You're all at risk if you eat like other Americans eat. What's also tragic is as people get older, is having to become a couch potato, and then you lose your memory. I don't know about you, but this is not living to me. If you have to live with no memory in a nursing home and can't take care of yourself, it's not a life. This is not only about getting healthy, it's about maintaining your health physically, emotionally, and intellectually as you age so you can have a great life. Then you can really make your golden years golden. So many people in America are overweight. And fat on the body breeds disease because fat cells secrete toxins and free radicals. The more fat on the body, the more inflammatory compounds are dumped from the fat cells into the bloodstream. Body fat raises estrogen in the body, which increases the risk of prostate and breast cancer. Body fat makes insulin not work, called insulin resistance, increasing the work on the pancreas, leading to type 2 diabetes. Then eventually, the high glucose in the blood ensues, which accelerates disease and aging. Then fat on the body promotes angiogenesis. That means the growth of new blood vessels that can now feed the growth of cancer. There's no such thing as an overweight person who is healthy. Even if you're not diabetic, even if you do not have high blood pressure, you don't have high cholesterol, the excess fat will eventually take its toll. It will age you rapidly. It will accelerate the diseases leading to a premature death. Whether you have 10 pounds to lose or 110 pounds to lose, this is the most effective way to do so, because you don't have to count calories and eat thimble-sized portions of food. You get to eat liberal amounts of delicious tasting foods made in creative and interesting ways. And the best place to start is the salad. That's where I want you to begin. You eat a large salad every single day with lots of vegetables, and then you put on the salad tomatoes, shredded red onion or scallion, some shredded cruciferous like kale, cabbage, or arugula. You put all that in the salad, and you chew it very well. It's like the best medicine. And don't forget, you use one of my fantastic dressings, one of my dressing recipes, we use nuts and seeds for the fat component, not oil. The nuts and seeds aid in the absorption of the anti-cancer nutrients from the salad. And they themselves have anti-cancer effects. Now, lunch is the most important meal of the day to get right, because dinner should be a lighter meal anyway. You don't want to go to bed at night on a full stomach. That's not good for your health. I recommend people eat a large salad and a bowl of vegetable bean soup or a stew and a piece of fresh or cup of frozen fruit for lunch. You can make one of my healthy salad dressings and take it with you if you're not home. And you can make a big pot of vegetable bean soup on the weekend and measure it out into separate containers to take that for lunch too for the entire week. That's what I do. I put vegetable juices like carrot, tomato, and celery juice in the pot, or I use a low-sodium vegetable broth, add water and beans or lentils, mushrooms, onions, leeks, green vegetables, and herbs and spices. The soup recipes in this program are fantastic. One of my favorites is the sweet and sour lentil cabbage soup made with prunes and apple cider vinegar. And breakfast is easy. With like oats or quinoa or another intact grain, you cook it in water, you add some flax seeds, chia seeds, or hemp seeds, you mix in some non-dairy milk, maybe a cup of frozen berries, and some mashed banana or other fruit. You know, this is not hard to do. It's easy to follow, and everyone can do it. Can you imagine the revolution in healthcare, saving people from tremendous suffering if our population just ate a healthy breakfast and a healthy lunch? It would be amazing. And you can do this. You can do this and potentially save your life. You know, we can have gratitude for the beauty and power of natural plants that contain the wonder of nature that can heal us and keep us well. On the contrary, processed foods, commercial baked goods, and fast foods can hasten our death and create tremendous suffering. You know, is the brief pleasure of a few seconds of those concentrated calories worth the years of suffering they cause? And I always say, food doesn't taste so good once you're in the coffin. In this show, you learned food is more powerful than drugs at preventing and reversing common diseases, such as heart disease and diabetes. Drugs generally improve the numbers while the disease continues to advance because they don't deal with the cause. The cause of the vast majority of illnesses, including chronic headaches, fatigue, and pain, is our disease-causing diet. You were given first-hand evidence with so many examples that if you flood the body with those protective nutrients found in colorful plants, it arms the body's miraculous self-healing mechanisms that can repair damage in the cell and remove injured and abnormal tissue. Your own body, when fed right, is the best healer. Did you know that all of us have segments of our DNA called the ARE, or antioxidant response element? The ARE's role is to repair the damage remove toxins that can lead to disease, and to suppress genetic alterations that are unfavorable. That's right. These unfavorable segments of genes are deadened when the ARE is activated. And of course, you know what activates the ARE, right? G-bombs. Greens and beans and onions and mushrooms and berries and seeds, right? Only strong phytochemical exposure from greens and these other colorful plants enables our cells' healing machinery to become activated. These foods also do three very important things. They fuel the growth of favorable bacteria in the gut, which aids in weight loss, reduces inflammation, and reduces blood sugar. Number two, they prevent estrogen from getting high and then increasing risk of breast and prostate cancer. Number three, they have anti-angiogenic properties. The word angiogenesis means the growth of blood vessels, and angiogenesis promotion is needed for fat to grow and for cancer cells to replicate. That means these foods interfere with fat gain and prevent cancer cells from getting a blood supply, shutting off their growth. Shuts them right down. That's right, greens, mushrooms, and onions say, "No way, Jose, I'm not letting you put fat on your body." They say, "No way, Jose, I'm not letting you make cancer cells." They must be bilingual, because they say, "No way, Jose." It's like Popeye. You eat right, and your body gets the superpowers of self-healing. Respect the miraculous self-healing properties of a properly fed human. You simply do not have to be sick if you don't want to. And I hope you use this information to get healthy, remain healthy, and have a long and happy life. It can be yours. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This program was made possible in part by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Be more PBS.